Now, I have had many dark nights of the soul. I have had numerous moments where I have reached a point where I understood I couldn't go on as my normal self any longer. And that there was no answer that anybody could give me that was outside of me. No one knew what I knew, and time I asked my friends or family what I needed to do, they weren't me, so they were giving me what they thought I should do based on their own self. You understand? You reach that point where you realize that it's all in you, and you can't go on living the same life any longer, and you begin to look at yourself, and you see certain things that you've created or you don't like about yourself that you want to change. And you stick with it, and you don't want to see anybody, and you don't want to do anything, and you want to go anywhere, because all of that would reaffirm what? The old self. And you retreat from your life, and you go inward, and that quiescence or that lack of emotion or that depression or that whatever you want to call that, where all of a sudden you're feeling that emptiness, that all of a sudden that emptiness is greater than all the thrills and all the emotions of all of this that distract you from this. And you're more real in that moment. I'm more real in that moment than I've ever been. And so that's the point now where you begin to ask some really fundamental questions. Why am I doing this? Who am I doing it for? Who am I? I don't even know who I am any longer. What do I want? What do I know? What do I don't know? What do I pretend to be? And so that moment of self-reflection is observing that state of being. But you're so altered in that moment, you can't be that person any longer. Do you understand? I think it's important that we have these moments like this. And when you're done asking other people's opinion, or we're done asking other people's opinion, that's the moment where we start really looking at, okay, I'm going to start from ground zero here, and I'm going to make my way out of this. What thoughts do I want to believe in? That I want to believe about myself in my life? And how am I going to have to walk into my world a different person? What behaviors am I going to demonstrate? What actions do I need to live by and personalize? And you begin to read books about great people in history or about the thing that you're overcoming. And your brain is consuming all this knowledge, and you're beginning to think about a new way of acting and being. And as you're driving in your car, or you're brushing your teeth, or you're putting on your makeup, or you're shaving, or whatever you're doing, you're so engrossed in these thoughts that you are just like the piano players, firing and wiring in new circuits and combining new knowledge with your self-reflection of mental rehearsal of how you're going to be it. And you're installing the neurological hardware in place. And you're cultivating your brain. And then as you have blips and moments where your body is free and you start to feel joy for no reason, and you start to think about possibility. And all of a sudden you're inspired. And what is inspiration? Seeing a destiny without limitations. You're seeing that that's real. You're seeing that it's possible. And when you see that it's possible, you're lifted, and your body gets a new signal, and you're moving into a new state of being. And the moment you do that, you're no longer thinking about your past, you're thinking about your future. How many people understand? Turn to the person next to you and explain, and then I'll carry on.